Commissary began receiving applications for the 2006 program November 1st and will continue accepting them until February 22nd. The DECA Europe Public Affairs Officer, Jerry Young, explains where the scholarships come from.
It is supported by donations from many of the manufacturing companies that fill up our commissary shelves.
The scholarship program is open to unmarried military dependents under the age of 23.
The scholarship program is one of the most favorite things that DECA does. We like to be involved in this and to have a part in helping the military community and the young people in it to succeed.
Applications are available at any commissary, online at www.militaryscholar.com, or through a link at www.commissaries.com. Navy journalist Jay Mann, AFN News.
Applications should be dropped off at commissaries no later than February 22nd. At least one $1,500 scholarship will be awarded at each commissary location. Take a look at your AFN Europe weather watch for this Friday, November 25th. Northern and Central Europe can expect cloudy skies with rain and snow in the morning. A heavy snowfall warning is in effect for Germany. You can expect up to 4 inches of snow. Italy, partly mostly cloudy skies with rain and snow mixed to the north and rain in the southwest. Temps in the 40s to 50s. In Turkey, mostly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and gusty winds in the west. Temps at 60 degrees. And in your exchange rates, one U.S. dollar buys 0.8262 euros, and a British pound will cost $1.77 in the UK. You can get your rates, news, and information on our website, afneurope.net.
If you've been sexually assaulted, there's medical and law enforcement assistance available 24 hours a day, every day through the USER Sexual Assault Hotline. You can call toll-free anywhere in Europe by dialing 00800-027-728-58. Again, that's 00800-027-728-58, toll-free anywhere in Europe. For details and phone numbers, log on to the USER website and click on the Not in Our Army link.
There are plenty of things that you can spend your paycheck on every month, but there's one thing that will pay you back: a college education at Central Texas College. They offer vo-tech courses in a variety of fast-growing fields, which include criminal justice, early childhood development, food services, EMT, and automotive. They've got a caring faculty and small classes, and they've got evening and weekend courses. Visit your local education center and find out how Central Texas College can make your life richer.
Did you know that children who grow up with physically active role models will be more likely to continue physical activity as an adult? Encourage fitness in your family by regularly going for a walk or a bike ride. Limit the amount of time your child spends watching television and playing video games. Set the example. Make fitness a priority and your child will follow. Youth Safety Services, Child Development and Youth Programs. We get youth moving.
A winter weather warning for heavy snowfall is in effect for Belgium and southern Germany until 1 in the afternoon Central European time. Heavy snowfall up to 4 inches is expected. This warning includes the military communities around Stuttgart, Garmisch, Grafenweer, Giebelstadt, Ramstein, Wiesbaden, and Chevreuse, Belgium. Once again, a heavy snowfall warning is in effect for southern Germany and Belgium. Up to 4 inches of snow is expected. AFN Morning News Watch continues 2 minutes before the top of the hour. Here's a look at your financial headlines. Investors anticipating a bright holiday shopping season gave Wall Street another rally on Wednesday. The Dow Industrials climbed 44.5 points to 10,916. The Nasdaq Composite gained 6 points to close at 2,260, and the S&P 500 moved up 4 to close at 1,265. A New York area man is accused of making insider trades based on pre-publication copies of Business Week magazine's Inside Wall Street column. Prosecutors say he would buy stocks mentioned in the column, then would sell once the article was published. Harley-Davidson is recalling about 13,000 motorcycles. The company says a defect in some of the 2006 model Dyna Series motorcycles can cause them to go into false neutral position. Harley-Davidson says it will provide owners with free pickup and delivery. And finally, what are you going to do with all that grease and fat left from roasting your turkey? Instead of tossing it in the trash or pouring it down the drain, an Arizona company wants to turn turkey grease into biofuel. Great idea. Tuscan-based Gricycle is partnering with local authorities to collect leftover Thanksgiving grease and cooking oil. Bioengineer Michael Kaz founded Gricycle about a year ago. He says the grease that collects in the bottom of the roasting pan can be processed and mixed with regular diesel fuel. Biodiesel cannot only run an engine. Advocates say it smells a lot better than regular diesel oil. Tasty. That's going to wrap things up for your morning news watch. I'm Leah Ortiz. Stay tuned for Connections at 2 o'clock, followed by Evening News Watch. And, of course, it's all right here on the Power Network. Wishing you a blessed day, and make sure that you have a great weekend.
AP Radio News. I'm Brian Thomas. Yet another American soldier has died in Iraq, this time in a tank accident south of Baghdad. The military says that soldier from Task Force Baghdad was killed Thursday in a single-vehicle accident involving his tank. Meanwhile, there are signs that some insurgent groups may be willing to talk peace with the Iraqi government.
Residents of Anbar province say 4 insurgent groups are considering naming a representative to spell out their conditions to Iraqi President Jalal Talabani. The residents all have contacts with the insurgent groups. The groups do not include the country's most feared terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda in Iraq, led by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Those groups are believed to have carried out many of the suicide attacks against military and civilian targets. Melissa Gray, Baghdad.
President Bush was on the telephone Thanksgiving Day talking to the troops overseas. Correspondent Nedra Pickler.
He thanked them all for their service, and he said that they were patriots. He said he was very proud of them and thankful for them, and he asked them to send that message on to all their fellow troops.
As Bush spends the holiday weekend in Texas, Iraq War peace mom Cindy Sheehan is back in Crawford to continue her push to bring the troops home from Iraq now. In just a couple of hours along the East Coast, the annual holiday shopping season begins with the traditional after-Thanksgiving sales. Ellen Davis of the National Retail Federation says price cuts will be king again this year.
A lot of retailers are going all out this year with Black Friday specials. They're being very promotional, and they've got a lot of loss leaders to bring people into their stores and keep them away from the competitors.
Despite hurricanes and high gas prices, most retailers expect to improve on last year's numbers. 2 sisters out of the hospital after being hurt during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. They were hit by a falling street light after a balloon tether snagged a light pole. One spectator says it dropped like a rock right near Times Square. This is AP Radio News. In British Columbia, Canada's Prime Minister opens a Share the Wealth dialogue with Native Canadians.
Paul Martin says most Aboriginal Canadians don't get the same benefits as others, pointing to gaps in education, healthcare, housing, and employment opportunities. He says these gaps must be closed, and that's what he hopes this summit will accomplish.
If we hope to achieve real change, we can no longer work in isolation.
The Prime Minister outlined benchmarks to set on several fronts, committing to measure progress and to report on results. Martin says for too long, the parties have simply been negotiators sitting across the table from one another. Scott Sutherland, Kelowna.
No oil trading in Singapore today, but crude oil futures in London gained 30 cents a barrel to $55.60. Former FEMA Director Michael Brown is going into the consulting business. Brown, who was fired for overseeing the botched response to Hurricane Katrina, says he is starting a consulting firm to help clients avoid the sort of errors that actually cost him his job. I'm Brian Thomas, AP Radio News.
This is AFN Newswatch Update. I'm Gary Bautell. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice commemorated the 10th anniversary of the Dayton Peace Accords this week by urging Bosnia-Herzegovina to become fully unified, arrest its war criminals, and create a final peace in Kosovo. Rice praised the Dayton Accords during ceremonies at the State Department. Reached November 21st, 1995 in Dayton, Ohio, the agreement brought an end to the bloody Bosnian conflict. Some soldiers from Taylor Barracks will spend their Thanksgiving defending their country downrange. Members of the 72nd held a casing of the colors ceremony in Mannheim to prepare for their deployments to Kuwait and Iraq. The battalion will operate the communications infrastructure at base camps in Iraq. They will also provide quick response tactical communication support from Kuwait. An advance party with the 72nd deployed last week. The rest will join them soon. The 72nd Signal Battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Patillo, says about 300 soldiers with the unit will deploy before the end of the year.
Morale was excellent. Even though this is our second deployment, it is back-to-back, but nevertheless the battalion is well led. Collectively, it is well trained, so morale is very high. I feel the 72nd Signal Battalion will be able to support the global war on terrorism. The 72nd will be responsible for installing pervasive connectivity on the battlefield. In fact, we will enable battle command.
The unit returned from its last deployment 1 year ago. Last November, the 72nd Signal Battalion returned from a 10-month deployment to Kuwait and Iraq with the 7th Signal Brigade. Join us for afternoon edition of Newswatch from 4 to 6 p.m. on this AFN station. I'm Gary Bautell reporting.
Steve Mariucci may have coached his final game in Detroit yesterday, according to reports in the Detroit Free Press and on WBJK-TV. Mariucci could be fired as early as today. Lions fell to the Falcons on Thanksgiving, 27-7. For Atlanta, Michael Vick and Algie Crumpler hooked up for 2 scores. In overtime, Broncos over the Cowboys, 24-21. Von Dayton's 55-yard run at OT set up Jason Elam's game-winning 24-yard field goal. Following the loss, Bill Parcells said overall they had a strong game.
I thought we played pretty solid on defense till that last run. I thought we played good. We got a couple turnovers. We turned it over a couple times.
Dane had 98 yards rushing and a touchdown on just 7 carries. College football, backyard brawl. 12th ranked West Virginia lit up Pittsburgh 45-13. Akron 35, Kent State 3. The Zips advanced to the MAC championship game. NBA, Pacers hammered the Cavaliers 98-76. And Lakers 108 Sonics 96. Kobe Bryant scored 29 of his 34 points in the final 18 minutes. NHL, Rangers skated past the Thrashers 6-3. Jaromir Jagr with his league-leading 21st goal. Predators 4, Kings 3, and Canucks beat the Sharks 3-2. The president of the World Anti-Doping Agency said in an interview with the London Free Press he suspects as many as a third of the NHL 700 players may take some form of performance-enhancing substance. Baseball, the Marlins finalizing a couple of their major trades Thursday. Florida sent Carlos Delgado to the Mets for first baseman Mike Jacobs and a pair of minor leaguers. Hours later, the Marlins completed their deal with the Red Sox. Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, also reliever Guillermo Mota, all headed to Boston. In return, Florida's going to get 4 prospects. The Marlins dumping salary at this point and likely more to come with that team. This Sporting News Flash was brought to you by Jim Beam. The stuff inside matters most. I'm Bill Leckis.
A new way to get your news starts now. AFN Connection.
Good afternoon. Army Sergeant Brian Ellison here with you on the day after Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great one. You're listening to the Power Network. I can't believe those women in the AP Network News going out with their boyfriends' money. What kind of boyfriends do they have? Man, thank God I have no money. In your weather watch, Stuttgart, it's currently 35. Tonight in Stuttgart, you're expecting a low of 28 with snow clearing up tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, high of 37. Camp Darby, wintry conditions. Today, it's 37 currently, 34 for your low tonight. Rain tomorrow, high of 46. Sinjar, Iraq, partly cloudy skies today, low tonight of 44. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, high of 69. Music on the way this hour from Marvin Gaye, Carly Simon, and Wild Cherry. Plus, today in history, news on Jessica and Nick. I'm also holding Powderhound ski report. We'll give you that. That's coming from Stars and Stripes. Treat her like a lady.
All my friends had asked me something they didn't understand. I get all the women in the palm of my hand, and I told them treat her like a lady. Got to treat her like best you can do. Got to treat her like, gotta treat her like a lady. She'll give in to you, Lord. You can see, you know what I mean. I know you heard her. Got the woman that soon take advantage of you. Got let me tell you, my friend. Got to treat her like just ain't worth it to. Got to treat her like you oughta treat her like a lady. Got to treat her like treat her best you can do. Got to treat her like you gotta treat her like a lady. You give it to you, Lord, who can sing? You know what I mean? Oh, you got to love her, tease her, but most of all you got to please her. You got to hold her and want her and make her feel you always need her. You know a woman is sentimental and so easy to upset her. So make her feel that she's real, yeah, and she'll give you happiness. Whoa, strange as it seems, you know you can't treat a woman mean. So my friend, there you have it. I said it's the easy, simple way. If you fail to do this, don't blame her if she looks my way. Cause I'm gonna treat her like a lady, so affectionately. I'm gonna treat her like a lady. You give in to me, Lord, you can see. You know what I mean? Oh, you gotta treat her like a lady. Gotta treat her like best you can do. You gotta treat her.
Connections, classic hits, current news, Power Network Radio.
Yes, I did. To just go down and check out the show. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right, you. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die. Till you die, yeah. Oh, till you die. Gonna play some electrified funky music. Hey, wait a minute. Now, first it wasn't easy. Changing rock and roll and minds. Yeah, things were getting shaky. I thought I'd have to leave it behind. Oh, but now it's so much better. It's so much better. I'm funking out in every way. But I'll never lose that feeling. No, I won't. Of how I learned my lesson that day. When they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, right. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die. Till you die. Oh, till you die. Yeah. It's all to play that funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music. You got to keep on playing funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music.
Who knew getting information could be this fun? Classic hits, current news, connection.
Notes, Private Eyes on the Connections. Before that, we heard from Wild Cherry and Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose. Today is Friday, November 25th, the 329th day of 2005. There are 36 days left in the year. Today's highlight in history was 42 years ago today, in 1963, that President Kennedy was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. On this date, in 1783, the British evacuated New York, their last military position in the United States during the Revolutionary War. In 1957, President Eisenhower suffered a slight stroke. In 1973, Greek President George Papadopoulos was ousted in a bloodless military coup. 25 years ago, Sugar Ray Leonard regained the World Boxing Council welterweight championship when Roberto Duran suddenly said no mas and quit during the 8th round at the Superdome in New Orleans. Roberto Duran spoke to reporters through an interpreter.
At the end of the 5th round, I started getting cramps in my stomach, and it kept getting worse and worse. And abruptly, I felt that I was weakening and weakening. And my body and my arms were weakened.
In 1999, everybody's favorite Cuban 5-year-old Elian Gonzalez was rescued by a pair of sports fishermen off Florida, setting off an international custody battle between relatives in Miami and Elian's father in Cuba. 10 years ago, Serbs in the Bosnian capital Sarajevo took to the streets by the thousands to protest the peace plan, vowing to fight to the death. Taking a look at birthdays today, actress Christina Applegate is 34, actress Jill Hennessy is 36, Amy Grant, 45, author, actor, former Nixon aide, and game show host Ben Stein is 61, actor Tracy Walter is 63, singer Percy Sledge is 65, actor Ricardo Montalban is 85, and former Chilean dictator General Augusto Pinochet is 90, and for his birthday, he's placed under arrest after being indicted for human rights abuses. You are listening to Connections.
The TRICARE Dental Plan is a dental insurance plan for family members of active duty personnel and reservists. Benefits include, at no cost, preventive, diagnostic, and emergency treatment. The dental plan is a safety net for those not living near a military installation. You can save money by enrolling in the dental plan to receive care from local national providers. To enroll, log on to www.ucci.com and select TRICARE TDP from the top menu. Sign up for the Family Member No-Cost Plan today.
The sporting event is just around the corner, an event unlike any other. It's the INA 2005 U.S. Forces MWR Wrestling Championship, December 9th through the 11th in Wiesbaden, Germany. An event like this one is always open to men and women active duty military. Call DSN 337-5943 for more details. Come and compete and hopefully beat your nemesis.
56 countries, all connected through the Power Network.
I'd be in trouble if you left me now, 'cause I don't know where to look for love. I just don't know how. Oh, girl, how I depend on you to give me love when I need it. Right on time, you would always be. All my friends call me a fool. They say, let the woman take care of you. So I try to be hip and think like the crowd. But even the crowd can't help me now. Tell me what am I gonna do? I know I got a guilty face. Girl, I feel so out of place. Oh, yeah. Don't know where to go, who to see it.
22 minutes past the hour. Chai Lights, Oh Girl, on the Power Network. Wednesday we had a Ron White, comedian from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, and Robert Hawkins, a comedian as well. He has his own special appearing on Comedy Central very soon. They are still touring through Germany. They'll be in Darmstadt tonight at the Escape Club, Cambrai Fritsch at 8 p.m. Tomorrow they're doing two shows. One at Sembach Combined Club, the Keller Bar, 1 o'clock, and then Baumholder Rhinelander Convention Center at 7 o'clock. And Sunday, Ansbach, Bismarck, Caserna at the movie theater at 7 o'clock. And Wurzburg on Monday, Leighton Barracks, 7 o'clock. It's Carly Simon. Nobody does it better on the Power Network. It's Connections.
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me. I tried to hide from your love, but like heaven above me, the spy who loved me is keeping all my secrets safe tonight. And nobody does it better. Though sometimes I wish someone could. Nobody does it quite the way you do. Why'd you have to be so good? The way that you hold me, whenever you hold me, there's some kind of magic inside you that keeps me from running, but just keep it coming. How'd you learn to do the things you do? And nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, baby, darling, you're the best. Baby, you're the best. Baby, you're the
Best. 26 minutes past the hour. It's AFN's Connections, and in walks into the studio Gary Bautell. He says he has information. He's, of course, from the AFN Evening Newswatch on the Power Network. He has information on AP's gas prices, and he is not letting me see them.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm thinking maybe I'll just hold it for Newswatch and not tell you it all. No, actually, AFRTS has announced their December prices. You may remember that the last couple of months they were using an average before Katrina to get the radical jump, up. And now they've gone back to averaging all 4 weeks. And in December, gas prices for regular, mid-grade, and premium will be dropping by about 27 cents a gallon.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That is great news.
Fluctuates between 25 point something and 27, but it's, it's around 27.
People are going to be shopping like you wouldn't believe now because of the gas prices.
Don't buy your gas until December.
That's right. I don't know.
Push the car around.
I could probably do that. Is there there's not a lot of hills between here and Frankfurt, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been very nice this morning.
No.
With the snow and ice. And
then there's still more snow for Stuttgart, right?
It looks like it, and they're predicting now that these weather conditions are getting bad in Italy. They had freezing precipitation, which has now been turned into snow flurries. So northern Italy, apparently getting some of that bad weather. Also on the newscast this evening, we'll be looking at Thanksgiving in Iraq. 30 Iraqis were killed in a car bombing. Troops, of course, traditional meal. And it seems that there are 4 insurgent groups down there who are ready to talk to the government about a possible peace deal, but unfortunately not Al-Qaeda in Iraq, of course.
Well, it's a start at least.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, thanks a lot, Gary. That's Gary Bautell from AFN's Evening News Watch. Catch it at 4 o'clock on the Power Network.
This is AFN Newswatch Update. I'm Gary Bautell. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice commemorated the 10th anniversary of the Dayton Peace Accords this week by urging Bosnia-Herzegovina to become fully unified, arrest its war criminals, and create a final peace in Kosovo. Rice praised the Dayton Accords during ceremonies at the State Department. Reached November 21st, 1995 in Dayton, Ohio, the agreement brought an end to the bloody Bosnian conflict. Some soldiers from Taylor Barracks will spend their Thanksgiving defending their country downrange. Members of the 72nd held a casing of the colors ceremony in Mannheim to prepare for their deployments to Kuwait and Iraq. The battalion will operate the communications infrastructure at base camps in Iraq. They will also provide quick response tactical communication support from Kuwait. An advance party with the 72nd deployed last week. The rest will join them soon. The 72nd Signal Battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Patillo, says about 300 soldiers with the unit will deploy before the end of the year.
Morale is excellent. Even though this is our second deployment, it is back-to-back. But nevertheless, the battalion is well led. Collectively, it is well trained. So morale is very high. I feel the 72nd Signal Battalion will be able to support the global war on terrorism. The 72nd will be responsible for installing pervasive connectivity on the battlefield. In fact, we will enable battle command.
The unit returned from its last deployment 1 year ago. Last November, the 72nd Signal Battalion returned from a 10-month deployment to Kuwait and Iraq with the 7th Signal Brigade. Join us for afternoon edition of Newswatch from 4 to 6 p.m. on this AFN station. I'm Gary Bautell reporting.
A new way to get your news. Connections on AFN.
Stevie Nicks and Don Henley on the Power Network. After months of rumors, denials, and salacious magazine cover-ups, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey are officially calling it quits. The couple jointly announced their separation on Wednesday. Us Weekly first reported the couple split in its October 17th issue. Sorry, kids. Nothing, I guess, lasts forever. For Nick, I say, well, good job, buddy. You got out of that one. How could you be married to a woman that says Daisy Duke was a strong and inspirational woman? I'll let you ponder on that. I don't think, yeah, whatever. Come on, Jessica Simpson. It's Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on the Power Network.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, come on. Oh, come on. Woo. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. Ooh. We're all sensitive people with so much to give. Understand each other. Since we got to be, let's live. I love you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong if the love is true. Oh, baby. Ooh. Don't you know how sweet and wonderful life can be? Ooh. I'm asking you, baby, to get it on with me. Ooh. I ain't gonna worry, I ain't gonna push, won't push you, baby. Come on, baby, stop being yeah. Let's get it on. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, baby. Hey, let your love come out. If you believe in love, let's get it on. Ooh, let's get it on, baby. This minute, oh yeah, let's get it on.
Connection Ski Report brought to you by the Powderhound Winter Sports page and the travel section of Stars and Stripes every Thursday. Looking at Austria, Hintertux, you have 100 centimeters of powder, improved conditions thanks to new snow there. Capron, 120 centimeters, of powder. Connertal, Austria, 70 centimeters of powder. Neustift, 90 centimeters of powder. Pitzel, Austria, 70 centimeters of powder. And Solden, Austria, you have 115 centimeters of powder. I'll have Italy, France, and Switzerland coming up a little bit later on. You're listening to Connections on the Power Network.
I can't get my job back.
Don't worry. Sit down. We'll work on it.
In the U.S., you're guaranteed your job when you return from reserve duty, but with European employers, it may be different. Don't stress. The European Committee for Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve is here to help. ESGR gives you the accurate information and provides a professional approach to dealing with employment issues in Europe. Contact ESGR at DSN 430-8864. That's DSN 430-8864.
By the way, I had more military
ESGR, your best option for resolution.
A winter weather warning for heavy snowfall is in effect for southern Germany. Snowfall of 3 to 4 inches is possible in the military communities surrounding Grafenwehr, Giebelstadt, Stuttgart, and Garmisch. Once again, a winter weather warning in effect for southern Germany. Heavy snowfall is expected of up to 3 to 4 inches in the military communities around Grafenwehr, Giebelstadt, Stuttgart, and Garmisch. So driving conditions in those areas may be hazardous.
One ear in the past and one in the present. Connections on the Power Net.
Dark in the city, night is a wire. Steam in the subway, up is a fire. When you want me, give me a sign. And catch my breathing even closer behind. In touch with the ground, I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Smell like a sound, I'm lost in a cloud, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Straddle the line, discord and rhyme, I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Mouth is alive, juice is like wine, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Start through the forest, too close to hide. I'll be upon you by the moonlight side. High blood drumming on your skin, it's so tight. You feel my heat, I'm just a moment behind. In touch with the ground, I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Center the sound, I'm lost and found, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Start on the line, discord and rhyme, I howl and I whine, I'm after you. Mouth is alive, right inside, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
Keeping you connected, AFN.
to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar, and I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. I took the good times, I'll take the bad times. I take you just the way you are. Need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. Till you believe in me the way that I believe in you. I said I love you, that's forever. This I promise from the heart. I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you are. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are.
Billy Joel, Just the Way You Are. You're listening to Connections on the Power Network. As promised, your Connections ski report brought to you by the Powder Hound, looking at Italy. Passo Tonali, 140 centimeters packed. Cervinia, Italy, 60 centimeters and packed. Obergurgel, 70 and excellent skiing conditions. Valsinales, 80 and powder. Engelberg, Italy, you're looking at 15 centimeters and packed. They're saying for Engelberg, that is reasonable skiing conditions for that area. That's your Connection Ski Report, brought to you by the Powder Hound. Winter sports page in the travel section of Stars and Stripes every Thursday. Still to come, I still have in the ski report France and Switzerland, only 4 locations there. It's John Cougar, Jack and Diane on the Power Network.